progress.
Talking about some lovely ladies that are going to be here very, very shortly. I can't hardly wait. It's going to be hot and heavy. It's going to be sweetness, and I'm looking forward to it.
About your opponents here in the Southeastern wrestling area for that U.S. junior title, what are you finding in the line of opponents?
You know, opponents come and opponents go. I've been here going on 3 months now, and my list of victories is endless. No one has pinned my shoulders to the mat for 3 counts since I've been here. I am undefeated, and the list of opponents grows and grows, but nobody will ever take this belt from my waist.
That remains to be seen. Coming up, a very tough opponent, former U.S. Junior Heavyweight Champion, former NWA World Junior Heavyweight Champion. That's Jerry Stubbs. View videotape on When If We Could roll the match. Japanese death match that took place here in the Southeastern wrestling area. Very unique rules.
A very, very tough match, Japanese death match. I never lose Japanese death match.
Very similar to sumo wrestling.
Oh, yeah, too close to lose to sumo wrestling. You know, Japanese death match, a lot of mix. Sumo, judo, karate, and plus wrestling. Right, Dennis?
That's exactly right. You know, Mr. Platt, we made this match as rough and tough as we could here. We got the top rope off. We actually wanted to see somebody get hurt because we knew it wasn't going to be Saito. We knew it had to be Paul Orndorff because this man right here brought this match. This is the first one in the United States of America, baby. Look at the chicken. Look at him ducking. This is supposed to be a wrestling match. He's out there running between people's legs and stuff.
I want you to watch special technique with Mr. Saito here. Where he hooked the tights. It's the old sumo. That's you hook the tight. Paul Orndorff don't know this trick here because you see him trying to overhook the arms. Now he looks like he's learning a little bit, but he will never learn because, like I told you, I was in Japan just last year, and I seen one of these matches here, and it was very deadly, Charlie. I'm going to tell you.
First man thrown out of the ring loses the match, right, Dennis?
That's exactly right. The first one to touch that floor just like that, Paul Orndorff has lost the match.
He's a
That's
loser.
it.
He's a loser.
There you have the comments of Mr. Saito, Randy Rose, and Dennis Condrey. This videotape of the first of its kind in this area, Japanese death match, where the top rope is taken down. Now, after the match, you attack Orndorff with that chair.
Not really. Now, what you see, don't believe what you see. What it was, Saito was tired. All he got that chair for was to sit down, Mr. Platt. He just wanted to sit down and rest. He didn't get it to hit nobody with. We had to come out there and pull Saito off of Orndorff, or he would have killed him right there if we hadn't pulled him off. Right, Saito, son?
That's right, that's right.
There you have
The first Japanese death match, we didn't want the first death of Dawson, so we had to pull him loose.
There you have the comments of Rose, Condrey, and the Alabama State Heavyweight Champion, Mr. Saito. A lot more action coming your way today on Southeastern Wrestling. Let's go to the ring.
Our next match, one fall, 10-minute time limit tag team match. Introducing in the corner to my left, at a combined weight of 449 pounds, Roy Welch and Jerry Stubbs. Welch and Stubbs. Their opponents at a combined weight of 472 pounds, the Southeastern Tag Team Champions, Dennis Condrey and Randy Rose.
Rose and Condrey taking on Stubbs and Welch. Should be a great match, fairly evenly matched here.
Right, exactly, Charlie. Rose and Condrey, the tag team champions. Roy Welch and Jerry Stubbs, veteran campaigners both, and should form a good tag team combination. Let's see who's going to be starting for each of the respective teams. Referee designates one man must get out. It'll be Randy Rose and Jerry Stubbs. And, of course, quite a bit of an underlying feud between these two men individually. It's been some weeks ago that Rose took a 2x4 to Jerry Stubbs right here in our studio. On the break, Stubbs stepping back, and Rose being very cautious as he moves back out to do battle.
There we go, collar and elbow, center of the ring again. Side headlock by Randy Rose.
Nice reversal to that top wrist lock, but Rose in a leg trip frees himself before Jerry could cinch up on that wrist lock. Rose was able to sweep that leg and break free. Headlock now by Stubbs. Applying the pressure now. Rose sends him off into those ropes. Is caught by a tackle. Over the top goes Stubbs. Over the top goes Rose. And look at there. As Randy Randy made the turn. Jerry came flying with that body press, hooks him with that arm drag, and in control.
Stubbs, very much in control. Over on the ropes, they're calling for a break.
A lot of fast-moving action here, Charlie, and of course, always the element of mistake involved in that speed. Rose driving in there, Stubbs waiting to take him down with that arm drag, laid the weight right in on him, and there's Rose on the break, driving that knee into the midsection. And reversal. Rose over. Oh, Stubbs anticipates, moves out of the way, and Randy Rose in trouble.
2 count on Rose, almost 3, powers out. And there you have again what you were just talking about, Les. Too quick a move can put you in a very bad situation.
That's right. A couple steps ahead of your opponent. Roy with the body slam and 5 for the press. Moving in right, staying right on Rose now. Welch comes up with the headlock. Thus far, it's been back and forth, Charlie. Both teams gaining momentary advantages. Neither team really settling in and controlling offensively as of yet. Welch jumped out of that headlock in a form of suplex, and Roy stunned by that one. Rose wisely makes the tag and to throw the block on Welch, and Condrey moves in to take over.
Condrey picking up where Rose leaves off.
This is the kind of teamwork that has kept Rose and Condrey the tag team champions. And no matter how you feel about them otherwise, you've got to realize they are productive. And they have been hanging on to those belts through a lot of tough competition. Roy trying to make that tag, Charlie, and he's just inches away, needing that fresh man in. That back was affected quite badly by that suplex.
Stubbs in. Stubbs throws a right. Jerry Stubbs with the atomic drop, quickly moving on Condrey. 2 count, but Randy Rose from outside of the ring comes in for the assist. And again, Rose coming in from the second rope.
Rose was given the tag, saw an opportunity to take advantage before his partner moved out and did so. Jerry now stunned by the onslaught of Randy Rose. Rose scoops him and drops across that top strand of rope. And that will take the wind out of your sails for sure, Charlie.
Rose crashing down with that leg.
Condrey following up with a knee drop after Rose had dropped that guillotine. And now Condrey, Rose in the driver's seat, trying to set him up, finish him off with that clothesline. And Stubbs up, a confident Dennis Condrey wasn't even looking at that right shoulder, and Jerry was able to get it up.
Rose takes his man in. Stubbs taking a lot of punishment. 2 count again, but he pulls that shoulder up.
Rose and Condrey zeroing in on him, Charlie, and they're trying to control him. They realize they got Jerry on the go. There they are, switching once again. And of course, trying to keep Jerry in their half of the ring and away from his partner. A chance to tag. Stubbs battling back.
Catches Rose with the boot. Goes under his man, and the tag is made with Roy Welch. Welch in. Roy Welch moving very effectively against Rose.
Roy spins him around with that right hand, and he goes for it again. Randy Rose on his knees, dazed now. Needing a chance to get out. He needs to make that tag. Welch putting the arms back, moves him into the corner to give Stubbs a shot at him. Look at here, Condrey moving in as the referee takes him out. Stubbs comes right down on the head of Randy Rose.
Condrey in. 4 men in the ring. All 4 men in the ring.
Rose pulling Welch into those ropes. Referee putting Stubbs out, and Roy is caught outside by Dennis Condrey as he hit those ropes. And there's that diving punch by Randy Rose, a grapevine and hook on the legs, and a body press.
And your winners, with their very effective teamwork, the Southeastern Tag Team Champions, Randy Rose and Dennis Condrey.
The champions saw a chance there, Charlie, to pull it out behind the referee's back and made quick work of it.
Indeed they did. They're your winners of the match, and we'll be back with our personality profile in just a moment.
News that involves a wrestler within our reach, you'll see it here on Southeastern Championship Wrestling Personality Profile.
When personal differences arise between two professional wrestlers in this sport, the ultimate way to settle that problem would be inside a steel cage. That is our subject today on Personality Profile. Most unique situation here in the Southeastern wrestling area for the first time in one night. 2 cage matches on the same card. My guest, the Tennessee stud Ron Fuller, along with Bob and Brad Armstrong. First, talk to Bob and Brad. We'll be talking to Ron a little later about a cage escape match. But for the first time that I can remember, championship titles will be at stake inside of this steel cage, Bob.
That's exactly right, and it's come down to this because of interference in all the Southeastern tag title matches that Brad and I have had with Condrey and Rose. There's always interference. You've got Saito, the Oriental Connection, always jumping in and out. What you see in front of us right now, Charlie, is solid steel. That's going to keep everybody out and everybody in. We're going to settle it one way or the other. Somebody's going to be champions. If they beat us, fine. We won't gripe if they beat us fair and square. We just don't think they're the team to do it. Charlie, I believe you have a film here that exemplifies exactly what I'm trying to talk about.
This is the problem that we have been seeing week after week here in the Southeastern
That's exactly right.
area.
Now, you can see this end of this match here. Everybody went crazy. Condrey had already been defeated, was supposed to retire to the dressing room. You can see them. They're getting rid of Brad. They're nailing us real good now. It's a 3-on-2 situation, which they seem to love. Mr. Saito, the ever-present Oriental man, is in there, and you can see the referee sacrifice himself, trying to stop all the confusion in the ring. He got the powder and the salt that was meant for me, and we got out of the ring. It upset us very much because these titles have been slipping through our fingers just barely, and here we just got mad and we stole the belts. You know, you can call us thieves if you like, but we'd been through so much, we just took the belts. Naturally, the International Sports Incorporated had to take the belts back, but I think in this cage situation that the problem will be solved once and for all, because like I said, nobody can get in, nobody can get out. It's a dangerous type match, but it's one way to settle an issue.
Brad, I would think for you, your young career in pro wrestling, this is the first time. I know Bob has been in cage matches from time to time, but this will be your first.
Yes, sir. You know, I'm real nervous about this, and there's no real way to prepare for a match like this. You know, Dad's always helped me and always helped train me, and there's no real way to prepare for a match like this, but just get your head straight, and with Super Dad in my corner, I don't think we can lose.
And standing by with the Southeastern Tag Team Champions and their comments on this title defense in the steel cage, here's Les Thatcher.
Thank you, Charlie. With me at the Southeastern Tag Team Champions, Randy Rose and Dennis Condrey. And gentlemen, it is a unique match when a title goes on the line in a cage match.
3 things I can't stand the sight of: a thief, a liar, and a crybaby. Armstrongs, you fit in every category I just mentioned. And I would like to say one thing. I want to go in a record book as saying this. Baby, one of you boys, and I emphasize boys with a small b, are going to get hurt, and you're going to get hurt bad, I guarantee it.
Les Thatcher, you know what happens when you put ultimate talent like Rose and Condrey into a cage? We get like dogs and animals. We get crazy. We get insane. We do crazy stuff, boy, and you're going to get hurt.
Tag Team Champions, back to you, Charlie.
And Ron Fuller, the situation between you and Jimmy Golden deepens between your personal conflicts, family conflicts, and on this same night of pro wrestling, the steel cage will stay up, and you and Jimmy will be involved, and one of the most unusual type of matches in pro wrestling, that is the cage escape match.
Well, it's the first time it's ever been held in this part of the country, and it's an unusual match for sure. The rules are that the referee will not be inside the cage. That's what I've been asking for anyhow for about 5 weeks now. The referee will be outside the cage, standing by the door with the key. The man that's able to beat his opponent down, walk to the door, the referee passes the key through the cage, and he's able to unlock the door and escape himself, will be the winner of this match, which means that your opponent must be left laying, and that's where I intend to leave Jimmy Golden. I've had the same problem Brad has. A lot of people have been involved in our matches, pulling us apart and interfering. This is going to stop it. This cage right here will keep everybody out until I get through with Golden.
And standing by with Jimmy Golden, Les Thatcher.
Jimmy, you've got to leave your opponent laying, be able to get to that cage door and get out into your own
No
house.
sweat, brother. I tell you, it's going to be like eating a piece of chocolate pie, baby. You know, I'd like to mention, I know you think that I'm looking real sharp here with my new Panamanian hat that I picked up down in Panama from Roberto Duran because he loved my boxing style so good. And back to this cage match, you know, there ain't no cage, no jail, no nothing that can hold me, no hope that Ron Fuller can put on me because I'm like Houdini, baby. I can escape from anything, but the cage is for Ron Fuller because I'm going to get him.
Back to you, Charlie.
And there you have the comments of Jimmy Golden pertaining to this very unusual cage escape match. And with more of an explanation on the rules, Les Thatcher has some comments from Tommy Weathers.
With me, referee Tommy Weathers. And Tommy, how do you feel about this cage escape match?
Well, I'm real anxious to say this. You know, as well as I know, that I've been knocked around by Jimmy Golden and Ron Fuller, but it's over. I'm going to be standing at the cage tonight. May the best man win. This key's going to be just like this. I'm going to have an easy job.
The comments of NWA official Tommy Weathers.
And hopefully, with this special night of pro wrestling, 2 cage matches. The ring surrounded by the steel cage with the Southeastern Tag Team titles at stake in 1 match, and the special cage escape match. And some of the differences between the professional wrestlers, as in Ron Fuller and Jimmy Golden, and tag teams like Bob and Brad Armstrong, Rose and Condrey, will be settled.
Our next match, 1 fall, 10-minute time limit. Introducing in the corner to my left at 205 pounds from Marietta, Georgia, Brad Armstrong. Armstrong. His opponent at 220 pounds from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, the U.S. Junior Heavyweight Champion, Stan Lane. Stan Lane.
And, of course, Brad Armstrong, the former holder of that title, Les.
That's right, and the man that Stan Lane defeated for the belt. Of course, this is a non-title match, but it should be digging and scratching, as Brad said from the get-go, Charlie.
Bell sounds, we're ready for action. Center of the ring, collar elbow. Brad pushing his man over in the turnbuckles.
Lane with about a 13-pound weight advantage. Otherwise, very evenly matched at this point. Of course, Lane the more experienced of the two, but Brad Armstrong has come along well. Lane going in deep, trying for that long hip lock there. Brad sliding off, though, trying to block. Collar and elbow once again. Brad with that fireman's carry takedown. And Lane coming up, taking another look at the young man from Marietta, Georgia.
Coming up next week, Les, I'd like to inform the fans that we'll have a special edition of Southeastern Championship Wrestling. We'll be featuring tag teams, some of the great tag teams in the Southeastern area and from all over the country. All matches will be tag matches next week on this program.
That sounds very exciting, Charlie. Tag team action, of course, is always very good, and there's a lot of top combinations in this area. Armbar the windmill by Brad Armstrong. Applying that pressure, Lane looking for an out. Goes in deep for the leg sweep. Nice takedown and escape there. Comes up with that front chancery, incorporating the arm on this one. Brad trying and does. Reverses, comes out with the arm bar and again windmills, but taking Lane to the canvas. You know, in talking to Brad about wrestling in a team with his father and also as a single, I think that he feels a great sense of accomplishment out there as a single wrestler, taking nothing away from he and his father as a team. But, of course, you know, Brad has come a long way in a short period of time, and I think he feels he proves so much more as an individual, as a singles wrestler, and right there against Stan Lane now. Brad has stayed on top of his man and has been right in on the offense every step of the way. top wrist lock by Stan Lane now. Let's see what Bradley's going to do. There comes up in reversal onto the hammerlock. Keys through from behind. Lane looking for a handle now for the reversal. Reaches through, hooks that leg. Brad kicks him off and through the ropes. Lane moving right back up now, but waiting is Brad Armstrong. Stan a bit hesitant coming up on that apron, Charlie.
With the right from behind takedown. Brad scrambling, and he comes out of it.
Good move. He made the feint like he was going, stopped, drew back, and went again, and lost Lane on that one. Probably Lane had been with him on the ride if he'd have made his move to escape on the first shot, but he feinted him and came back. Again, a good move for a young man with so little experience in that ring. Right up to that arm bar. Notice how Brad stayed right on top of Lane, and of course that's the key, is Stan Lane is a complete junior heavyweight wrestler, no doubt about that. Some 5 pounds within the limit at about 220, and Brad at about 207. And Lane with that knee, Charlie, is going to change the flow of action right now.
Again, Lane goes to the use of a knee.
You know, we've said it before, one thing with these junior heavyweights, there's not a big weight differential in the junior heavyweight division. Most men are within 10 pounds of one another, and of course that makes for more even competition. With a champion and former champion in that ring, things are very close. A nice try for the elbow. Brad rolling out of the way. Lane misses, and now Lane having a problem with the elbow. Brad coming up trying to get his win, and doubles Lane up with a shot to the midsection.
Brad continues working on the midsection. Good forearm to the side of the head of Lane. And again, table's beginning to turn somewhat in this match. Brad Armstrong, connection with the flying drop kick, down for the pin. 2 count.
The obvious move there was Brad hooking that outside leg, which was close to the rope, but Lane was able to get the hand through.
There we see. Once again, Brad coming up with the pinning combination.
Lane trying to roll him up there, move into those ropes, but Brad ducked through. Lane went through and brings Armstrong out to the floor. We've got a Donnybrook on our hands. Look here. Rose and Condrey move out, going to work on Brad Armstrong. Condrey moving inside now. And Jerry Stubbs moves out. Bob Armstrong into this fray, and Rose is surprised from behind.
And we have action in and outside of the ring.
The match, I would say, officially over. The should have been awarded to Brad Armstrong on a disqualification. But right now, Stan Lane and Jerry Stubbs and the Armstrongs, Condrey and Rose, going at it in and out of the ring. Rose trying to pull Bob Armstrong down. Bob nails him, going into that ring to help his brother out, or his son out. And Brad has been lacerated. Condrey has opened Brad Armstrong up, Charlie.
And continues. Bob going to work on Stan Lane. Condrey already out of the ring, and all 3 men now going out of the ring. Brad Armstrong has been lacerated, and we'll be back in just a moment.
They're involved in one of those cage matches. Dennis Condrey and Randy Rose defend against the challenge of Bob and Brad Armstrong. Right now, let's hear from the Armstrongs.
Solid steel around the ring. I just want to ask Brad one question. Son, are you ready?
Well, Dad, you know, I've been working out real hard. I've been training real heavy, and I think I'm ready.
Doggone it, that's all I wanted to hear. When we get to Beham, brother, it's all going down. Steel around the ring, ain't nobody getting in, ain't nobody getting out till somebody gets beat bad, somebody gets hurt, and you ain't looking at the last two. When you try to run, all you're going to meet is steel. When we finish, your face might look like a checkerboard when we grab the back of your hair and push it through that steel cage. All them little squares coming up on your nose and face, you're going to pay for all you've been doing to the Armstrong. No Saito. How is Saito going to get in? What are you going to do this time, Condrey? Ain't nothing you can do but stand and fight like a man, and that's going to be hard for you and B-Ham.
Well, Dennis, it's a unique situation. The title's at stake in a cage match.
You know, there's one thing I hate worse than a liar and a thief, and that's a crybaby. The Armstrongs stand out here, and they want this kind of match. They want that kind of match. They want this stipulation. Well, brother, let me say this. You've got yourself in one stipulation now that you ain't going to like one little bit. And after this match is over, Bob Armstrong, I want you to go back to your son, and I want you to say, son, was you ready? He's going to say, no, Daddy, I wasn't ready.
Randy, your comments?
You seen him standing there. Son, are you ready? Son, are you ready to go to bed? Son, are you ready to take your vitamins? But he never said, son, are you ready to get hurt? Because you will get hurt when you're in the cage with Condrey and Rose. And you should turn around, Brad, and say, Dad, are you ready? Because we're ready.
Monday night, Birmingham's Boutwell Auditorium, a super night of Southeastern Championship Wrestling.
All right.
Mercy.
Our next match, one fall, TV time remaining. This will be a Southeastern title match. The challenger at 270 pounds from Nashville, Tennessee, Bob Owens. Bob Owens. The champion at 280 pounds from Pampa, Texas, Ron Bass. Ron Bass.
Southeastern heavyweight champion Ron Bass taking on Bob Owens. Bass making some comments our way, wanting to know was Bob Owens big enough for an opponent, Les?
Well, you know, he mentioned top of the program about size. But, of course, Ron Bass is defending his title for the second week in a row here on television. And right now he's got Bob Owens out of Birmingham, Alabama. Collar and elbow. Ron Bass winning that title from Ken Lucas in a no disqualification match. But right now, he's got Ken Lucas, Bob Armstrong, Ron Fuller, Paul Orndorff, men like that to contend with as far as challengers, and Ron Bass got his hands full. Owens catches him with that tackle, with Bass staying on his feet.
And coming up later today, we'll have that contract signing between Golden and Fuller. That is, if both men still agree to the rules of the cage escape match and want to go through this.
Exactly. Bass with that headlock now. Owens has the top wrist lock. Bass goes to the ropes, and he'll get the break. Bass with the top wrist lock now. Owens switches into that hammerlock. Bob Owens hanging in there.
Bass a little frustrated with Owens right now. Goes back in, collar and elbow. Twisting that left arm. Good reversal by Owens, and quickly the champion goes to the ropes.
Bass not giving Owens a chance to even get started, Charlie. Each time Owens has made a move and come up with a hold, Bass has found the ropes and got an immediate break. Good strategy on his part, and I would say he's trying to psych Owens a little bit with it. That right hand, or the thumb, it looks like referee checking with Ron Bass. Bass moving in on Owens once. got Owens on the go now. The big man from Pampa, Texas, opens up. Sets him up here. What's he say? That is the hard punch. Maybe this is the new one that he's talking about, Charlie. I've seen that used by Stan Stasiak, former WWF champion, and a good move, but a dangerous one on the part of Outlaw Ron Bass. The hard punch, the body press, puts away Bob Owens.
And your winner of the match, the Southeastern heavyweight champion, Ron Bass. That must be the new hold he was referring to at the start of today's program, talking about something he wanted to try today.
Exactly. That can be a very dangerous maneuver. And like I say, Stan Stasiak, former WWF heavyweight champion, was a big exponent of that particular hold or punch. You got to call it a hard punch, used by Ron Bass for the first time.
We have here a contract, Les, that has been thought over by, I'm sure, Mr. Golden by now, and certainly Ron Fuller. Ron should be out in a few minutes.
And would you like everybody to look at my new pretty hat, boy? I'm real proud of it. It's just something I got down in Panama.
Would you like to sign it?
Yeah, sign it, Geek. You so tough. Get over there and sign it.
I'll be happy to sign.
On the top line, Ron.
I'll tell you something.
Let's see if you man enough to sign.
I've been thinking about this match, and I ain't too sure about signing no kind of contract where I step in a ring with an insane man like you with no referee. With no
Maybe you need a little encouragement.
Hey, what are you doing to my head, man?
Wait a minute here. Wait a minute. That was something.
Come on and fight! Come on and fight! Get out here now. Where's the kid? I'll sign him. I'm going to tear his head off.
It's on. The cage escape match. Both participants will be back in just a moment.
Cage matches. For reservations and information, call 322-7798. The Boutwell box office open at 6:30 p.m. Monday night. Here's your lineup. Cage match number 1, a cage escape match. Ron Fuller battles cousin Jimmy Golden. The Southeastern Tag Team Champions Randy Rose and Dennis Condrey meet Bob and Brad Armstrong in a cage match for the title. The Southeastern title at stake as Ron Bass takes on Ken Lucas. The Alabama State Champion Mr. Saito defends against Roberto Soto. U.S. Junior Champ Stan Lane takes on Jerry Stubbs. And in a ladies match, Suzette Ferrara against Candy Malloy. Don't forget, Ron Fuller and Jimmy Golden in a cage escape match. The Southeastern tag title at stake as Randy Rose and Dennis Condrey defend against Bob and Brad Armstrong in a cage match. The Southeastern title on the line as Ron Bass takes on Ken Lucas. Saito against Soto. Lane against Stubbs. And Suzette Ferrara against Candy Malloy. It all comes together Monday night, Birmingham's Boutwell Auditorium at 8 p.m. Top flight matches top to bottom Monday night, Birmingham's Boutwell Auditorium. The one we want to talk about now, first in the state of Alabama and in Birmingham, a cage escape match, which pits cousins Ron Fuller and Jimmy Golden against one another inside that steel cage. Before I talk to Ron, let's hear from Jimmy Golden.
Ron Fuller, I've always explained how much this hat meant to me, and you have ruined it. And I've told you where I got it down in Panama boxing sparring with Roberto Duran, and you have humiliated me and embarrassed me for the last time, son. And there ain't no cage that can hold me. I'm like Houdini, brother. I can get out of anything and any hold that you can put on me. But the cage is not for me. It's for you, because you got rabbit in your blood, boy, but you're not going anywhere, and I'm going to humiliate you like you ain't never been before. I'm going to whip your butt, son, in Birmingham real good in living color. I'm going to paint that cage red blood with your face, and you get ready for it, Fuller, in Birmingham.
Well, Ron, Houdini may be just exactly who Jimmy's going to have to be, because you're going to have to get out of that cage, walk out under your own power to become the winner.
That's the only way you can win, is be man enough to go. The referee slides the key through the cage to you, you unlock the door, and you leave. Now, that's certainly not going to happen with you, Jimmy Golden, because I'm not going to be laying there long enough for you to go over and get the key and unlock the cage and let yourself out. The only way, Jimmy Golden, Monday night in Boutwell Auditorium, that you are going to leave that cage is when I'm already up on the stage there in Boutwell and gone to the dressing room, and they come after you with the stretcher. Then it'll be your turn, Jimmy Golden, to leave the cage, because, Jimmy Golden, we've been through a whole lot. We've tried everything. Ain't no way to keep Bass away, ain't no way to keep people out of it, ain't no way to keep the referee out of it. We have figured a way, Jimmy Golden. There'll be no referee, there'll be no Bass. And come Monday night, When it's all over, Jimmy Golden, I'm going to be the man escaping from the cage. I'm going to walk to the dressing room, Jimmy Golden, and Monday night, Boutwell Auditorium, you're going home feet first, boy. They're going to carry you out of that cage. I guarantee it.
Briefly, in the closing of Southeastern Championship Wrestling, we'd like to remind all of the fans that there will be a special tag team event coming up next week on the program, Tag Team Day at Southeastern Championship Wrestling, featuring the top tag teams from around the Southeastern United States.
A lot of great action coming up next week. We had a lot of great action today, of course, too, Charlie.
Indeed, a lot of action.
I don't mean to interrupt. I just want to tell Condrey and Rose one thing. You think you've done something real good and real smart when Brad is still walking and he's still talking, brother. And all we got to do now is return in kind. And that means to beat you like a drum everywhere we see you, boy. We're going to put something on you. You tried your little trick. It ain't worked. He's still loud, tough, strong. We're going to get it done, Condrey and Rose. Count on it.
And I rate Bob Armstrong, and rightfully so. A lot of action today, a lot of action taking place next week. Hope you'll join us.